morning, everybody. Glad to see you here with us for another episode of Family Meeting Podcast. Going to be kind of doing a recap of our family vacation to the Florida Keys a couple weeks ago, and talking a little bit about our trip to the Dallas area, Grapevine National Small Groups Conference, and just the things we have going on in life. So I think it's going to be fun episode to reminisce and talk about. Want you to kind of share your vacation experience with us. Where do you like to take your family on vacation? What's the fun things that you like to do? We were having conversation with a couple just a few days ago, and we were talking about they were Disney people.
Yeah.
So amusement parks and all of that. We're not Disney people or amusement park people. We prefer being outdoors with as few people as possible, whether that's the beach, the mountains, or whatever else. So it's always interesting why certain people enjoy certain things and what they enjoy about it. So kind of share that with us. What's your favorite family vacation spot? And what do you love about it? Love to have that conversation there in the comments with you. Now, you ready for episode 269?
I'm ready.
Then let's gather around, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. The Family Meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We're the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas, and this is my beautiful wife, Lysandra.
Hello, and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 269 of the Family Meeting Podcast. On today's episode, we are going to share with you a recap of our most recent vacation, our family vacation to the Florida Keys. And we just want to share with you how we keep our vacations as affordable as possible while still having a great time and a great experience for our kids. We very, very much believe in family vacations.
Yes.
We believe that it is vital, that it is important, and it should be prioritized. It is when we reconnect. It is when we rest together. It's one of the ways that we show our kids they are important to us. They are more important than work. They are more important than ministry. So we believe very much in family vacations, and we just kind of want to share with you the way that we family vacation, and maybe it can help you or inspire you. We also love to hear from you. So make sure that you're telling us your awesome hacks and tips for having a great family vacation.
Yeah, I have already had 2 or 3 people come up to me and say, hey, in a couple of months, we're going to the Florida Keys. We want to sit down and we want to chat all about it, suggestions and all that. So we love to share those things. We love to get those insider tips from other people, and we'll talk about some of the insider local things that were suggested to us from this vacation. Man, we just got back on Saturday from the Dallas, Texas area. We were in Grapevine National Small Groups Conference that was put on by Adam Ehrlichman with Build Groups. And so it was a great time. We loved being able to talk about marriage and help ministry leaders think about and prioritize their marriages and invest in the marriages that are in their churches. And I just love the chance that we have to get away just doing that together. It's a getaway we wouldn't have taken.
No, definitely not. Yeah, we've been traveling a lot lately, and it's funny because I'm like, we're on this trip and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of traveling. And Thomas is looking at me and he's like, I love taking trips with you.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's fun.
Like, I love you too.
Just to get outside of the norm, spend time together, explore, adventure. Like there's something about that as a couple that brings us closer together. Yeah. But, and that kind of wound down our speaking for 2025.
Yes, that was our last one.
So after that one, I was kind of reminiscing. I made a post about it on socials, about the different events we went through this year, the different places. I mean, like 7 or 8 states that we were in, and a wide variety of conferences. So some of them were kind of small and intimate with just a few couples. Some of them were larger, 150, 200 people. So just the wide range, but all of them were great in their own way. We got into a lot of great conversations with people. I think one of my favorite things, besides just planning it and speaking with you on marriage, which helps our own marriage, is the personal conversations that people come up to us afterwards and say, hey, I have this going on in my life.
It's amazing.
Or a sanity check, or can you help us figure out what we ought to do here? And it's so rewarding to be able to help and invest in other couples.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this to those of you who are listening. You don't have to go on some speaking tour or have a podcast or write books in order to invest in marriages.
Absolutely.
You can just find a marriage, whether maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's some couples at church or work or whatever else, and you can kind of gather a group, small, maybe it's just one or two other couples, and spend time together and just encourage each other in your marriages.
Yeah.
But that this year's gone as far as our speaking engagements, and we're already looking forward to 2026 and what we have in store. We have we're going to be in Pigeon Forge in February 19th through 21st.
All right, that's going to be a cold one.
Yep.
We need to be better prepared this time. We froze at that one last year.
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to buy a winter coat again.
Yep. So we're going to be back with our friends, Mark Harvey, and let's see. I think it's Heritage, if I remember right. It's not on their property. It's at Pigeon Forge at a hotel up there, so I always forget.
Yeah. It was such a great time, though. They are amazing, awesome people.
But we'll have that information as far as being able to register and be involved in that if you want to. We'd love to see you in February up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then March 6th through 8th, we have Marriage Conference with Mike Spann over in Gulfport, Mississippi.
That's going to be great.
And then April 17th and 18th, doing a marriage conference with Reach Church here in Florida.
Orlando area.
Yep. So a little north of Orlando, northwest, I think. So a couple of new churches we've not spoke at before. Going to be a lot of fun and all. It's nice when you go to new places. It's also nice when you kind of go back to a place and you kind of continue to build on those relationships. But we'd love to see you in those events in person, and we will put out all that information to be a part of it as it becomes available to us.
All right. Should we talk about our vacation?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So our conversation today is a little bit different. Normally we have like a lot of content for you with
18 ways to do this or that.
Yes. Step A, step B, step C. And we go through everything, right? And I don't know, maybe it feels a little teachy. Like I love like content. I want to know, how can I do better? How can I... Thomas, you are more of a like, I just want to listen to somebody have a fun conversation and hang out.
Well, I find value in both, and it depends on what I'm doing at the time.
Yeah.
So like, I go to the gym in the morning. I'd want to listen to an interesting conversation that might stir some ideas and thoughts and whatever else. That's not a place where I can sit down and really focus and be like, okay,
right.
What are the three ways to grow as a leader when it comes to active listening?
Yeah.
It's just not a good setting for that.
Right. So it depends on what you're doing. So normally that's what our podcast is. And so maybe you're tuning in for the first time. This is a little bit of a change from what we normally do. Today, we want to share with you our vacation that we've most recently had. Just kind of share with you what it was like. And then also we want to give you some of our tips and little tricks that we do to make it as affordable as possible. Travel is expensive.
Yeah, and it's just getting more expensive.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't get cheaper, that's for sure. So we just want to share with you all of that. And it really vacation starts with a plan. Starts with a plan. And this plan, we recommend that the plan begins 2 to 3 months before the vacation. And here's why, especially for our family. So what our family looks like right now is we have an adult daughter living with us. She's going to be 20 in like a week.
Yeah.
Is it a week from today?
Less than a week. 6 days.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
So she's going to be 20 and she lives at home and runs her own business. So she's around, but she's very independent. And then we have our second daughter who is 18 and she is in Flagler College. So now for the first time in our lives, we have something that's very like rigid as far as schedule because we've homeschooled the kids their whole lives.
Right. Being a pastor, there's flexibility there. So like we've purposely done things, schooling and different things so that it could be flexible and we could do what we wanted to do.
Yeah. And like I own a painting business and that is also, I'm my own boss. So I choose my schedule. So this is the first time that we ever had a daughter like in school where the professors are basically like, you can go, but it's going to affect your grade. So,
yeah.
And then we have our two younger daughters. Abigail is a senior in high school. She is 17 and Violet is a freshman in high school, 15. So, so we had to plan and it was hard to plan this vacation.
Well, and we've also crossed into this new chapter, as Lysandra mentioned, where one of our daughters is in college. The other one runs her own business and that we don't have anything to do with other than when we see people on social media asking for a cleaning person, we recommend her. Mm-hmm. But she runs it, everything, the whole thing. Yeah. Every once in a while, she'll have like a sketchy place that she's got or little she's unsure about going to and giving a bid. And so I'll come along as just like the security.
You're the muscle. You're even more intimidating now without hair than you were before. Like you are even more like kind of scary. Which
is weird because like I have to actually think now when I go out in public to go in a store or something like, hey, just crack a tiny little smile, open your eyes a little wider, right? Don't
scowl.
Yeah, which is what I naturally do.
You're a natural scowler.
So I have to like try to put on somewhat of a happy face so that people aren't like, oh, this guy's here to rob the place.
Honestly, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
But
they're at this place where they have to run their own lives. And so we sat down with them. This was probably 4 or 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. And we said, hey, we can't necessarily plan family vacations and things around you. But what we're going to do is we are going to plan it. We're going to pick a date. And then if you can come, great. You're always invited. We always want you to come. If you can't come, we understand.
We won't be mad. We won't, give you shame or throw shade at you. Like, it's okay if you can't come. You have to make this choice. It's your life now.
Yeah.
And the other thing for us to remember is, like, we can't just decide, well, we're not going to have a family vacation because everybody can't come. Because that shortchanges our younger daughters. It's not fair to them. Yeah. When Catherine and Isabella were their ages, we never skipped a family vacation. And so we can't do that to them either. So just because maybe not all kids can come doesn't mean we stop having the family vacation.
It was so difficult when Isabella, wasn't able to come.
It was very difficult.
It was our first one where everybody wasn't there.
It hurt, it didn't hurt my feelings from Isabella. Like, it wasn't like Isabella hurt my feelings, but it was like, it hurt personally. Just that this is how we had to do it.
Once again, it's the reality that the way our family used to be, it will never be that way again.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of you have dealt with that.
Yeah. So we're planning Christmas. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about plans, right? So planning Christmas, and we got the date out early enough. That one, we were able to choose a time where Isabella was not in school in her break. Because we're not really doing gifts for the kids.
Right.
Maybe a small thing here or there, but the gift is really time spent together.
Yeah, so the gift is the trip.
We're doing an Airbnb up in North Georgia or South Carolina or something like that in the mountains where it's kind of colder, and just spending like 5 or 6 days together.
Yes, which is what we did last year, and it was fabulous. The girls loved it. We asked them this year, would you enjoy that again, or would you rather have presents, or would you rather go somewhere else? And they all said, no, we want basically exactly what we did last year. Yeah. They loved it. So, but you got to start the plan, and the plan cannot start a week before the trip, okay? The plan's got to start at least 2 to 3 months away. And this is where you give your family the dates, you give your bosses the dates, whatever you have to do, and start looking for those Airbnbs. Now, when our kids were younger, we would typically do our family vacations where we would stay with a friend. And that saved us a lot of money. And God bless these wonderful friends who had us to their homes and let all of us 6 invade their homes.
Literally, because we had like 4 little toddlers.
Yes.
I think about Evan going to Boston. And it's
Yeah.
like they open up their home to like this whole mess of...
Yeah.
The Tyndalls in Alabama.
Yep. And Bethany and Zach welcomed us into
DC
their
area.
home.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of friends welcome us and into their home and allow us to stay there. And that was great. And we loved that. We would always try to leave the houses cleaner than when we came.
Yep.
Try to make sure that I would clean the bathroom. I'd vacuum. Like I'm talking like actual clean the house before we would leave. Try to keep all of our stuff contained to the rooms that we were given and not have anything in the living rooms or anything like that.
Depending on the situation, we might leave some money to help cover groceries while we were there or things like that.
And sometimes I was able to cook for them.
Yeah.
I remember a vacation where we stayed with Faith and Ryan, and she was in school, and of course he's pastoring, so I tried to make dinner each night.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do to make it easier on these people that we're kind of freeloading off of for a week. But now the kids are older. Oh.
Well, we were just talking about like that was the only way we could make trips happen at that point.
Yeah.
And so that was often how we chose where to go.
There was no extra money.
Yeah. It was like, okay, we've not been to the Northeast. Do we have friends in the Northeast that we could talk to and stay with? And of course, where you stay is one of the biggest expenses. So
yes, right. But now that the girls are older and there's a little bit more wiggle room with money, mostly because we have a business, our painting business that is, it's not extra, it's helping, right?
Yes, it's bringing in income, yes.
We never had that before.
Which we have a busy week painting. I think 3 different properties we're at this week.
Yes,
so
yes.
We work hard and then we get a chance to get away.
Yes. So we're now doing Airbnbs, and we love Airbnbs. They end up saving you money in the long run, and we'll explain that too. But you can do a hotel, and sometimes you can get like amazing deals on hotels and everything. But you're basically, if you are a family that can be housed in a one room of a hotel, which is 4 or less, if you're going by their rules and the law. The fire code and everything.
If we're doing like one night overnight and just going through somewhere, we'll do 6 of us, and like a couple of girls will camp out on a couch or make a pallet on the floor or something. Like we make do if it's going to be one night, but I would not do that for like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, no. But even if you get one hotel room, you're looking at $150 best case scenario, not including the taxes that they add on.
I mean, unless you want to stay at like, bedbug B&B or,
Yeah, and we've definitely done that, and I'm not allowed to do that anymore. He put his foot down way back.
We were traveling somewhere. I don't even remember where. But
to Iowa from Alabama.
We were traveling through, and we found this spot. It was like $30 for a night stay.
Oh, I was thrilled.
Yeah. So I was skeptical. The place looked super sketchy. And we go in, and it's like bugs. There's like a hole in the floor. What appeared to be blood on the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was just like,
when he says bugs, roaches, not bed bugs.
Yeah,
we do not see bed bugs.
But I was just like, I can't do this. Like at that point, I was the only one driving, so it was like I have to have a good sleep, and I just could never sleep in places like that.
Yeah. So we haven't done those like cheapo places. So if you're going to get an average hotel, you're going to pay around $150 a night. So if you get an Airbnb, you can have a lot more space and still pay around that much a night. And then this is the reason that we like Airbnbs is we can cook. So we have a full kitchen, and we don't eat out every meal. We do breakfast in and we do dinners in. Lunch, we typically will eat out while we're having our adventure and going to see different things. And we can talk a little bit more about that in a minute.
But I was just going to say, depending on what we want to do is kind of how we choose what our Airbnb is going to be. Mm-hmm. So like Christmas, one of the things the girls want to do is they want to go up where it's cold and kind of have that cold Christmas feeling. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that, but I want a hot tub.
Yeah.
So it's like,
They love the hot tub too.
so it's like, okay, that's kind of what we didn't want to do. With being in the Keys, it was like, hey, this is going to kind of be our base camp, and then we're going to make some trips out. And so we were trying to find something that didn't have to be extravagant. It was literally just a place to sleep and cook. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and that's kind of like one of the things we do is to choose where we go, right? So like we've got a plan, we've got to choose an Airbnb. Where are we going to go? And for this, we like to have a family meeting, and of course, you know that we always encourage family meetings. So we like to sit the girls down and just talk it out. Like, sometimes the first thing is just cold or hot.
yeah.
Do we want to go somewhere where it's cold, or do we want to go somewhere where it's warm?
And I always say hot when it's my choice.
Yes. And there are, people, all of our kids have different opinions, and we have different opinions and stuff. So for the Keys, we all wanted to go somewhere warm except for Isabella.
Yeah. Yeah. But we were deciding between going on a cruise, because we've never done that before.
We'd like to take our kids on a cruise.
Or Florida Keys. And so we were looking at a cruise for a while, and it just didn't fit into our schedule or our price point at this time.
No.
So.
Yeah, we couldn't do it as affordable as we could driving somewhere and getting an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times too, and we even looked at like, okay, could we afford to go to Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico, you don't need passports. It's, cash dollars there. Usually you can get cheap flights. But even with the cheapest flights we could find, you're still looking at an Airbnb and a rental car. Whereas driving down...
For 5 of us, yeah.
Yeah, driving down to the Keys, we eliminated the rental car and the airline tickets. Just had the Airbnb.
Yeah.
So how do you choose where to go? Well, have a family meeting and talk about what is everybody's ideal vacation right now. Sometimes you've had kind of like a boring school season where it's like, okay, everything is routine. We're bored. We want excitement. We want a thrill. Other times you're coming out of a very busy season and all you want to do is rest. I don't want to have to go places. I don't want to be around a bunch of people. I want to be in a cabin in the woods, kind of idea.
Yeah. Well, and it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Because like for us, we had a goal based upon Lysandra and what she did with her parents of getting our daughters to all 48 of the contiguous states while they were under our roof. Mm-hmm. And so there were times where it's like, we don't necessarily know what we want to do, but we need to go to the Pacific Northwest. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to head off that direction. Mm-hmm. And we're at a point now where a year or two ago, we got them to the 48th.
They've seen them all.
And so now it's like, what do we want to do for vacations like that? Because we don't necessarily have a goal to accomplish now that we've accomplished that.
Right. And when we knew like, okay, we need to hit the states up in the Northeast or up in the Northwest or whatever it was like when we headed that direction, we were like, what are the coolest things up there that we definitely don't want to miss? Like, what are the amazing state parks or the national monuments and things like that? So we've really truly taken them to all the things that we wanted them to see and the things that we wanted you to see, Thomas.
Oh yeah, I had so much. I mean, more than the kids, I wanted to see it because I didn't really travel a lot.
Yeah. So once we had done that, now it's more like, what kind of a vacation do we want? Do we want to rest? Do we want to be going, And so in this case, all the girls, they wanted to, I should say all the girls who were going to come, because Isabella now had decided that she couldn't come.
Yeah.
They all wanted to be at beaches and be hot and swim. Because snorkel. Even where we live up in Florida, we're in the northeast of Florida, and it does get cold here in the winter. It doesn't last long, and it's not bitter cold, and there's no ice or anything like that. So
the other day we woke up to 33 degrees, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is Florida. Like, this should not be cold. Like this in November.
Yeah. So we didn't really, we even want to find some warm sometimes.
People are like, you're in Florida.
I know, we're babies. But they wanted to go south, so that was one reason that we chose down there. And then choosing the Airbnb, this is where Thomas and I work together. Yeah. So now we know what dates we have, we know where we want to go, and the style of vacation we want. We got to pick an Airbnb.
So we'll start looking and shooting each other ideas and
sharing back and forth. We both have the app, and so we'll share which ones. Now, some of you have become really good with checking like Vrbo, Airbnb, Home Instead, like all of the different apps. We're pretty much Airbnb only, but I know that you can probably find a good deal if you're on all of the apps. So basically, we went back and forth with a bunch. We knew we wanted to bring our dog Coconut, so pet friendly, and we did want to have a pool access, and we did at this little spot that we found. And so we picked our Airbnb, and it had to be under a certain dollar amount.
Yeah,
and we were able to find that. So now we've got the Airbnb ready. Now we've got to think about food.
And so part of it was, okay, what are we going to be doing? So we're going to be taking day trips out to visit different areas around the Florida Keys, which if you've not been to the Florida Keys, we stayed in Key Largo, which is up in the north towards the beginning, and then Key West is like 2 hours away. So we could go visit Key West, get up in the morning, go visit Key West, spend a few hours or half a day or whatever doing the things that we really wanted to do, and then still be home for dinner. And so we kind of decided, let's plan for one meal out every day and then a meal at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2 meals at home because the girls do breakfast as well.
Yeah, I don't do breakfast, so I don't even think about it. But so one of the things we started doing, actually, I think we started this last Christmas when we went away for Christmas, and letting each person pick a meal that we're going to have while we're on vacation.
Yeah. So once everybody gives me their meal request that they want to have on vacation, I do my grocery shopping at our Aldi here in Palm Coast. Having been to the Keys before, I knew that they did not have Aldi. They have Winn-Dixie and Publix, which are the two most expensive grocery stores where we live. And we don't really shop there. We only shop there if they have deals or if it's very inconvenient to go further or whatever.
I want fried chicken, I go to Publix.
Yeah, you do. So I went to Aldi, and this is how we do it when we do Airbnbs, because we can save money by shopping at our local grocery store. I take a tub, and I've got all the ingredients for everybody's meal that they want. And I just get all the ingredients for those things. I put the things that can be frozen in the freezer because that's kind of like ice when we travel, right?
Yeah.
So all of those things go in one area in one of our freezers, and then I have a tub with the dry goods. So it might be snacks, it might be other things. Pro tip, if you go and stay at an Airbnb with a big family, don't forget your disposable baking dishes.
Yeah.
Every Airbnb we go to does not have big baking dishes. They just don't.
We didn't think of that this time, and so we had to get very creative with how we prepared food.
The other thing I recommend is bringing a box of gallon Ziploc bags. If you bring that, they can double as your Tupperware for leftovers, or you can carry things home in them. So those are kind of a couple of things to think about. And then you just keep everything together that you're going to need for your ingredients. Now, this is to save a lot of money, and it does. It does save us a lot of money. But I also don't pressure myself because, moms, it is impossible to remember everything that you need for a week and not to miss anything. So the way that I look at it is I'm saving our family the majority of money by shopping here.
Yeah.
But I already am planning I'm going to need to go to the grocery store when we get there.
One thing or two things.
One or two things that I forget. It's typically things like the oil. Like, I didn't think to bring oil for this recipe. Or maybe like this time it was cayenne pepper. I didn't put cayenne pepper in the tub.
Well, it's hard because you're so used to just using your own kitchen and just reaching over and grabbing this or that without thinking about that as an ingredient.
Exactly. So you give yourself grace on this. If this is what you're doing, give yourself grace. It's not a big deal if you forget something. Just head over to the Publix. It's going to cost you more, but you've saved a ton of money just by shopping locally at your local Aldi. So that's the way that we do that. Thomas, why don't you talk about once we get to the destination, how do we plan each day?
So we had some basic ideas of certain things that we really wanted to make sure that we did. Others were like, if we have time, we'll stop and we'll do this. But it started with some conversations, typically in the evening. So where we talk about, okay, like, first day we got there was a Sunday. So we had church, set up, tear down, and we drove the 5.5 hours down to Key Largo from here. Got in kind of late. It was raining. And so we just knew, like, okay, day one, Monday, we want to stick close to the area. We want to sleep in. We're not going to push hard. This was a vacation about seeing some things, yes, but getting rest also in the midst of a busy season. And so we kind of chose to do that. So day one, we kind of took it easy. That's how we decided to do that. And then that night we talked about, like, okay, what we know we're going to hit Key West, which is 2-hour plus drive from here, from where we were staying. Do we want to do that on Tuesday, or would you want to do that Wednesday? And we kind of decided, let's have another easier day where we go visit one of the other keys or two of the other keys closer by, and then Wednesday, get up early, go to Key West, do the things. So
once we've had a little rest and we haven't been in the car for a bunch of hours, just that recently, then it's like, okay, now we can go to the Key West. Yeah. So
some trips, it's pretty scheduled out what we're going to be doing on what day and all of that. Because of the nature of this trip, a big part of it was resting and just spending time together. Every night we sat down and kind of talked about, okay, what do we want to do tomorrow? What do we want that day to look like? So it really depends on what you're doing. If you're visiting a certain area of the country to see as much as you can in that particular area, every day is going to be filled with a lot of stuff because that's what you're trying to do. But for us, it was like, okay, we want to see some stuff. We want to show you some things and do some things, but we also want to rest. And so that's kind of how we planned each day, was just chatting a little bit. Basic idea, we'd give the kids a little framework of what we're thinking and then get their input, and then we decide kind of almost like a majority rules types of thing. Because I know, like, the Key West day, Lysandra, you talked about going Tuesday, and everybody else was basically like, we're still kind of tired. What if we did that Wednesday? So it was kind of like a majority rules types of thing.
Right, absolutely. So this trip, we saved money, and we were going to do one thing for entertainment. Which we don't usually do. Usually we don't spend any money on entertainment. Like, we don't go to a water park. We don't go to an amusement park or a paid museum or anything like that. It's
not really our thing.
We typically try to not spend money that way, but just like enjoy the outdoors and all the things that are free. But this trip, I said, okay, we've saved enough money. We can do one fun thing. Let's get a boat. I was like,
go snorkeling. Yeah.
The big thing about Key West is there's really not that many beaches. Like, you think of the Keys,
Florida Keys in and of themselves. Yeah.
You think of beaches. Truly, there's very few beaches, and they're tiny and they're rocky. They're not really like our beaches here are much better than theirs. The big thing in the Keys is like to take a boat out and go fishing or go to a reef and go snorkeling.
Yep.
That's what the Keys really are.
It's more boating.
It's very boating. So I was like, what if we did this? Like, let's do this. It's going to be so cool. And there was a hiccup.
It was a hiccup.
Thomas is the hiccup. You did not want to go on the boat. Tell us why you didn't want to go on a boat.
Well, the reason to go on the boat was to go snorkeling. And I don't really care for snorkeling.
Why don't you care for snorkeling? What is it about it?
I don't know.
Do you think it's boring?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my gosh.
It's just not my thing.
So funny. I could snorkel forever, and every fish I see, I can just stare at and swim with them. And what's going to be around that rock, and like, what am I going to find? Yeah. Oh, I love it so much.
But so I'm like, I don't want to pay the money to just go sit on the boat for half a day or whatever it is, while everybody snorkels. So I was like,
well, and don't you get seasickness?
I mean, I would have to take medicine, but sickness. Yeah.
All right. One last question before you move on. Are you afraid of sharks out there?
Oh, definitely. Okay. But I would, so I'm like, I don't really want to pay the money to just go sit on the boat. I might jump in and swim for a little while. Because I have conquered my fear of sharks as far as that's concerned. But, so I'm like, I told Lysandra, why don't you, and this was a private conversation, so it was not to influence the girls' thoughts at all. I said, why don't you take the girls, you guys go out on the boat, go snorkeling. I'll just stay back with Coconut and hang out at the Airbnb and just kind of relax and chill out a little bit. So,
and you would have very much enjoyed that day.
Yes, and I would very much be happy that you and the girls got to go out and go snorkeling and have a great time. And I wanted you and the girls to experience that.
Yeah. But then when I talked to the girls about it, thinking this is such a great idea, we're going to go on this boat, 2 of the 3 of them were like, I'm really nervous to be on a boat in the ocean. I don't really want to go.
And they're like, we don't want to go if Dad's not there.
Yeah. And everybody decided, once they heard that you weren't going, they were like, no, I'm not going.
Maybe we shouldn't have told them that part.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to bait and switch, right? But that meant that, like, okay, we had this money that I'd set aside that we could do this boat thing. Now we're not going to go. So this was the plan B that we came up with. Is the money that we would have spent on the boat, I divided between the girls and gave it to them in cash and let them have some shopping on the trip. They all love shopping. They're classic girls. And I think they really enjoyed that.
They did, yeah.
They love to have that money. So, kind of sometimes you might want to think outside the box and don't be afraid of plan B or plan C. Not everything has to go exactly as we planned. By the way, just to fill everybody in, now that the girls have gone snorkeling so much, now they all say that they would be comfortable now going out on a boat. So maybe someday down the road, we will go on a boat snorkeling tour, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah. And the thing is, we have always decided, no matter what happens, we're going to make the best of it. Right. So we've had vacations like where it rains the whole time. And we're like, well, we're going to go out, we're going to explore, we're going to see anyway. We know we're going to get wet and it's going to be fine. And so while we're planning for this trip to the Keys, I'm checking the weather, which I normally don't do on the regular. But I'm checking the weather just to see what it's like. And it is showing rain every single day.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, that's fine. We're still
gearing
gonna
up.
We're still going to have a good time.
Yep. And then the Lord did part the clouds and gave us sunshine just about every single day. We did experience a little bit of rain, but really we had beautiful weather and a wonderful time.
Well, the rain was day 1. So let's kind of walk through the trip that we had.
Okay.
We got up. It's a Sunday. We packed the van.
Before church.
Yeah, before church. Got up early, packed the van, went and did everything at church. We set up, we tear down. For those of you that are new to the podcast, we lead a kind of a mobile church that meets in our local high school. So that means we set up and tear down every single Sunday. And so there's extra time and stuff involved in that. Went and had church, and then came home, picked up the dog, picked up the frozen food and all that stuff. And
we had sandwiches in the car.
Yep, we got stuff. Typically day 1, wherever we're going, we're traveling, we typically have sandwich stuff in the car so that we can kind of get down the road and not have to stop. And travel down to 5.5 hours. So it took us, by the time we stop and have gas and all that kind of stuff, 6.5 hours or so.
Yep. When we got there, the easiest meal to do quickly that one of the girls wanted was tacos. So we just whipped up tacos real quick and had tacos for dinner that night.
But here's the thing. It was nice weather the whole time we're driving until we get to the bridge, like right before the bridge to go out on the Keys. And it just starts pouring. And I'm like, oh, this sucks, because we have all this stuff we have to unload and it's going to be in the rain. And it's dark now. It's night. The sun is set. We're driving across the bridge as the sun is setting, which was super beautiful. And it was kind of crazy because it was raining and we could see the sunset off to our right. And then you look left and it was like, because of the rain, it was one of the most beautiful rainbows I think I've ever seen.
It was gorgeous. So vibrant.
But then we just get to Key Largo in that area and towards our Airbnb, and it's just pouring. But God was good to us. The place we had rented, we could back up to the door, and there was just enough of a ledge so that we could open up the tailgate and we could get everything out without getting wet.
I love my minivan.
I mean, I don't love it, but it came out really good.
The minivan, guys. Get the minivan.
SUV would have done the same thing, but...
Not all of them.
I mean, yeah.
Yours opens that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a great first experience. We had a great time. That first day, everybody settled into their own little areas, and we went to bed pretty much right away after dinner.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and did dishes that night because I knew the girls were tired and this is their vacation too. So I went ahead and just did the cooking and the dishes that night. They helped carry like luggage up to the different rooms and everything. So while I was cooking. Day 2, we wanted to have that quiet, calm day. So we went to John Pennicamp State Park, which
Pennicamp.
Pennicamp? Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody says that that's the best snorkeling in Key Largo. Unfortunately, the rain had made the water pretty cloudy.
It was murky, yeah.
And it was cloudy. The sun hadn't come out yet, so it was pretty cloudy. We only saw like a couple of fish when we were snorkeling. We snorkeled and we came across this huge fish, like enormous. And the girls just lost their minds. It was
they were freaking out. It was their first time doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're losing their mind. By the way, I had found snorkel gear on Amazon, and that was one thing that I also did for the family is bought everybody a new snorkel mask. They were very good quality.
And only like $25.
$20 for one because I let them pick their own colors, and I gave you black and Catherine wanted pink, and there was a set together. It was black and pink for $40, I think.
Yeah.
So your guys' were only $20. The rest of ours were $25. If you are going snorkeling and you want the link, let me know. I will send you the Amazon link so that you can get these snorkels. They worked excellently the entire time, and they weren't expensive. So then you found us some lunch that day after snorkeling around the state park.
Yeah, we did so many things. What is the place we went to?
Well, I don't remember the name of it, but it was, there was a dock along there, and you guys were looking at the fish in the water. We sat outside. It was a beautiful day. They were redoing the palm branches on the patio, but I don't remember the name of that place.
I'd have to look through the pictures to see.
It's okay. It was good food though. It was a good lunch. And then we went to the Key Lime Pie
Factory.
Yes.
In Key Largo.
That might have been the next day. Well, it doesn't matter. But we did do shopping after snorkeling at the state park because the girls, they wanted to do some shopping. They were like antsy. I think the money was burning a hole in their pockets.
Yeah.
So we did some shopping, and also it wasn't really the best snorkeling day. So we wanted to do something inside.
Yeah.
Did some snorkeling, and then the meal that was chosen for that night was homemade Alfredo. So we brought the cheese and the butter and the cream and everything, and we made homemade Alfredo.
Stuffed shells.
Seafood for Thomas and chicken for the rest of us.
This is where we had to be creative with the cooking because they didn't have any baking dishes. So you used a Pyrex bowl.
Yep, a big baking bowl.
Bake it.
And I layered the stuffed shells, and it worked just fine.
I had to change up what I was going to do since there wasn't a baking dish. So I never actually did get my seafood stuffed shells. You still owe me for that.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes. So the next day, we left. Actually, we still stayed around the Airbnb that day. So we did like Ann's Beach and some other beaches, and we saw a little bit of fish. We made coffee at home, and the girls had some breakfast. And we did find some snorkeling around there.
But we got up on the way to go to Ann's Beach. We stopped at Key Lime Pie Factory.
That was the day we did. And that was the day I did something
that
really
was on
stupid.
Tuesday. We went to Key Lime Pie Factory, and they have, if you've not had key lime pie from the Keys, you have to try it. But they have there, it's frozen key lime pie on a stick dipped in dark chocolate.
And it is disgusting.
No, it isn't. Everybody loves
gross.
it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
loves it.
Okay.
So But it was so hard. Like, we had to let it sit for a second so that we could actually bite into it. But it was so good. And it was, the one there is, they have a couple of them in the Keys. The one there is this kind of little shop, and it looks so tiny and small. And then you look out the back, and they've got like a little garden and stuff out there.
Yeah, it's like a secret garden. It's like this little cocoon of paradise. It's so cute back there. So we took some pictures, right? That's what we do.
Took some pictures.
And that's a way to remember everything. Well, I had my purse, and I set my purse down next to a bush.
To take pictures.
Yep. And then we drove away.
Not knowing,
Yeah, I left my purse there. The next day we went to Key West.
Yep.
And the day before we ate at Twisted Shrimp. I remember the name of that place.
Yep. Twisted Shrimp.
That was where we had lunch, and it was good.
Well, and the days kind of back around where we were staying, we did swimming in the pool, and there was a lagoon that we were on.
The Airbnb.
The Airbnb is on the lagoon. It has a lagoon there. It's all enclosed, but somehow is connected to the ocean because it's all salt water and it's all tropical fish, and they're everywhere. And so the girls did snorkeling in that area, and there's just all kinds of stuff, like all kinds of fish. And the lagoon is so deep, like the water's so clear, you cannot see the bottom. Like, I have no idea how deep it actually was.
Yeah, it was kind of scary.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was neat. And then
but it was a lot of fun. It was a unique experience, and probably one of the things I love most about the Airbnb was that lagoon, because it was so unique.
Yeah, and it had like a floating raft out there that they could play King of the Mountain.
Yep, we'd swim out over the abyss and get out onto the little platform that's floating there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. And actually, I asked all the girls what their favorite part of vacation was, and Violet said that, the swimming in the lagoon with the fish.
Yeah, because there's just hundreds of them.
Yeah, and they're very used
varieties.
to people swimming in there and snorkeling, so they just come right up to you. They're not afraid of you at all. It was very cool. So then the next morning, we got up very early, and that was when we went to Key West. We got coffee on the way at this cute little coffee place. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't remember.
I don't either. It's like a little shack. You'll miss it unless you know you're going there.
Yeah.
But it's very good coffee. So me and the girls all got coffee.
But we got, when we went in last May, we took Abigail to Key West for her 16th birthday trip. We got a recommendation from Charles Payne, who lives in the Boston area. And we know his parents who live here. And he recommended this little coffee place because he is a pilot, and he would, when he's going to Key West, he would fly into Marathon and land there, get coffee, and drive down to the Keys.
Yeah. So we went the rest of the way to Key West, and we were heading to Fort Zachary State Park, and they happened to have a boat race, a very big national boat race, international
offshore.
Yeah.
And so they're these amazing, like, $1 million speedboats.
Yep.
And they're all racing around, and
campers everywhere.
Helicopters are flying around, following them for the cameras, the crews, and all that. It was incredible.
So we got to snorkel and also watch a boat race, which was pretty cool.
But it took us, when we finally got into Key West, it took us about an hour and a half to make a 5 or 10 minute drive, because the only way into the state park was through where all the boats and all the people were.
That was rough.
And the best place to see the boat race was in the state park. So
where we wanted to snorkel.
Everybody's trying to get into the state park.
Yep. So we snorkeled there, and we saw some really cool fish, and we asked the girls if they would rather go look at the fort or snorkel, and they all picked snorkeling. So we found cool shells, we found cool fish, and we really enjoyed that.
Which the fort is cool.
It is.
It's interesting to see. But we have done similar things like that in a lot of different places, and we have a couple of forts nearby. So the girls have seen things like that, and snorkeling was the thing they really just wanted to do.
So we snorkeled until we were all starving for lunch, and we headed into Key West. We had to show them a couple of small things. The
touristy things,
0 mile.
Where US 1 stops and starts.
Yep. So we had to let them see that.
Southernmost point in the United States.
Yes. So we got a picture there. And then they wanted to get a Key West t-shirt or something. So we did a gift shop. And then we headed to Thomas's favorite restaurant in the Keys.
I think it is my favorite restaurant in the Keys.
Mm-hmm.
We ate at a lot of good places. There's so many great places to eat, but this was so unique. Hogfish Bar and Grill.
Yep.
And it's not on Key West. I'd have to look up the name of the island that it's on.
Real close there.
Yeah, it's like
20-minute drive.
It's maybe 15 minutes from where we were shopping in Key West. And somebody recommended it to me. I had posted before we took Abigail and said, hey, we're going to Key West. What are the things we need to see and do and whatever? And somebody recommended the Hogfish Grill. And they said, get the hogfish sandwich. I've never had hogfish to that point. Mm-hmm. It sounds horrible. The fish looks horrible.
It's ugly
It
fish.
is really an ugly fish, but it tastes so good.
It is delicious.
Like, even if you're not a fish person, we have daughters who are not fish people, Violet specifically. And she's very leery about trying anything new. And so we're like, just try it.
One bite.
Because you got blackened hogfish, I think,
yes,
right?
which is so good. Yep.
And then I got the mini hogfish sandwiches. And she tried it, and she really liked it.
She ate like a piece of my fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be the best tasting fish I've ever had.
I think it is. I really love it.
And it is right on, you sit literally right next to the water in this marina. And so there's a bunch of cool tropical fish swimming all over the place. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of a neat experience as well.
It is. So then we drove the 2 hours back to the Airbnb, and the girls did the lagoon and the swimming pool. And I think that was the night you guys threw me in the pool with my fully clothed. I wasn't going to go.
Yep.
I was like, I'm done being wet. We've been wet for so long. I need to dry out. And
Yeah.
I got my sweatshirt on and everything, and my jeans,
She's sitting right by the
shorts.
pool, and me and the girls are plotting.
Yep. Abigail was like, Mom, can I see it? I want to see whatever. I was looking at some picture from the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's right here. And she took my phone and she pushed and you pulled.
Yep.
Got me in the pool. So that was
Fully
interesting.
dressed, sweatshirt, like sweatshirt on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Violet made fried rice for everybody. That is her meal that she likes to make, and it was delicious.
Yep, pot stickers. Yeah.
Yep, and pot stickers. So that's what we did. Then the next day we went to Long Beach.
Long Key Beach,
and we checked out the beach there, and Ann's Beach. We went back there again, which we did some off-road snorkeling, so to speak, where there were some rocks on the side of the road, and I was like, there's going to be fish in those rocks. Let's go. And we did, and this was so funny. So me and the girls are snorkeling, and we're a little nervous because we're like going where the boats travel, and so I'm telling the girls, like, pay attention to boats. Don't get run over by a boat.
Yeah.
This is not in a normal swimming area. And we're snorkeling along. We're seeing tons of fish, having a blast, crabs and everything. And we came across, it was kind of murky until you get close. So like you sometimes don't even know there's a rock in front of you until you're right next to it. And we had gotten so close to this cage. Like the cage was like, I'm trying to think
It's
of.
a crab trap.
It was a crab trap.
Maybe a lobster trap.
I don't know. It had really small holes, like this small.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if that's crab or lobster, but we didn't know what it was. And all of a sudden we're right on top of it. And then whatever's in there is trying to get out.
Yeah.
So it starts like shaking the cage and stirring up everything. We all lose our minds and start screaming, which if you're having a snorkel mask on and screaming, like that doesn't work. You get water in your mouth and mask. And of course, so then we're all like coming up for air and everything. And we're all trying to swim away from this crab trap or whatever it was, which in the moment I should have figured out like that's what it was. But it was just too scary all at once. I wasn't thinking straight. So we kind of freaked out there. But we snorkeled out underneath a bridge, even though it was a little dangerous. And it felt very adventurous and fun. And we saw some really cool tropical fish out there.
Yeah.
But then you found a cool place for lunch that day.
Yeah, it's I think Lick-It Barbecue or something like that. And wood-fired pizza.
Yes.
And so it was this little spot in, I think, Layton, the very end of Layton before you cross the bridge. And it was a really cool little spot. Yeah. Food was great. I got a wood-fired pizza with lobster on it. What did you get?
I got fish, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
My fish was not good.
Yeah.
I like blackened fish because it's not fried. It
She
just
goes
has,
to a
like,
place
seasoning.
called Barbecue and Pizza, and
I got fish.
got anything
Well, I was
but
trying.
barbecue
I wanted to
or
make a
pizza.
healthy choice, right? But this fish comes out covered in onions, which I like onions, but it was like covered.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Me and the girls
It
got
was not
pizza,
very
and we had a great,
Yeah.
great
And I
time.
actually ended up eating the rest of his pizza. But
Yeah.
this is the reason that place was so cool. The cook, I think it was the cook, came to our table and he was talking to us, and I was like, "Hey, are you local?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm local." I was like, "What is the best place to snorkel here? Like from the shore?" And he told us about a beach that was at the end of the 7 Mile Bridge. And it was called Veterans Park Beach. And so we put it on the list. We were going to go there the next day because it was too long of a drive. It was too late in the day for us at that point. We were all getting tired.
Yeah.
But that was the very best place that we went the whole trip. And so we're thankful to that guy.
Oh, yeah.
But after that barbecue, we went home and we swam in the pool in the lagoon again.
Just kind of hung out.
And nobody wanted supper that night. Everybody was too full. So I think some people had, you know what it was? I bought a whole box of like 12 Hot Pockets just in case we wanted a quick, easy meal.
Yep.
And so I think everybody had a Hot Pocket or something, but
Yeah.
nobody was very hungry that night. And then the next day was our very favorite day, and it was our last day on the Keys. We went to Veterans Park Beach at the end of the 7 Mile Bridge. So what key would that have been on? Do you remember? I don't remember the key that is. But the snorkeling there was amazing. The water was clear. The day was sunny. There were rocks that we found way down one direction that had all these fish. These little fish, these like little baby tropical fish were right at the beach. Like there's some little rocks just under the water. And we could just go and like kind of float in the water and just be a part of the fish and their world. There were shells to find. The beach was the biggest and like nicest beach that we were at.
It's Little Duck Key.
Little Duck Key.
Literally right at the end of the 7 Mile Bridge.
Yep.
Heading
And it was
towards
fantastic.
Key West, yeah.
So our cook from the day before was absolutely right. It was the best place. We were sad that we found it the last day because we probably would have just hung out there for the rest of the week.
But it was the perfect day.
It was
and it was a spot where it's like you could bring stuff for a picnic and you could just literally hang out there all day.
Absolutely.
And if you want to swim, you could swim. If you wanted, it started off very shallow. So if you literally just wanted to like sit in the water waist deep, you could do that.
And we did. Yeah. We had such a great time there. But this was one thing that the girls requested to do on this vacation. They wanted to have one fancy night out where they could dress fancy and go out to dinner. So we did that on the last night. We didn't have really lunch. We just had an early dinner at like 4. So we went home and everybody showered, and the girls curled hair and did makeup and put their dresses and their heels on. And then we went to a restaurant that was very near to our Airbnb. They wanted to get some pictures together with their sisters and with their dad and everything. And we went and ate dinner and just had a really nice time together. And the dinner was Catherine's favorite part of the whole trip. And I think Abigail too, actually. Abigail and Catherine agreed that their favorite part of their whole trip was getting dressed up and going to dinner.
It was Skipper's Dockside in Key Largo.
Okay. So it was like 4 minutes from our Airbnb, and it was just lovely. There was fish to look at, so Daddy and the girls looked at the fish while, after we ordered and waited.
We went down there, right? For start off, me and Violet, because Violet was like, I want to go down there. So we made our way around down the steps, and there's boats and all that docked up, and we see a bunch of little fish like we've seen everywhere else. All of a sudden, we look over underneath one of the docks, and it's like you see this huge nurse shark.
Yeah.
Like just the outline of it. And then you see another one. And all of a sudden, it starts swimming, and it comes up right at the surface and is like swimming around. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But crazy to think, like that's just one of a number of giant fish that are actually right down there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're swimming with them all week.
Yeah. It was cool, though.
Yeah.
Nurse shark's not going to bother you.
Yep. Yeah. And then the next day, we packed up the Airbnb, cleaned it all up, packed up the car, and we were out by 7.
Yep. Because
7 a.m.?
stopped at Starbucks on the way out.
Yep. Because we were out of our coffee supply at the Airbnb, and drove pretty much straight home. Actually, we didn't stop for lunch or anything. We just drove home.
Had lunch at home and then got back to work.
I went to work.
Yep. And I got stuff. I had to get ready for church on Sunday. And so,
yeah.
But it was a nice getaway. We had some adventure. We were able to show the girls who had been there around and see some things. Though the only thing I can think of that we talked about possibly doing with the girls, and so if you go to the Florida Keys, I recommend you do this. And I'm gonna have to look up the name of the place now. Do you remember the name of the marina where you feed the fish?
Oh, Sonny's. Wasn't it Sonny's?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Robbie's.
Robbie's. It's Robbie's. Robbie's Marina.
I got there.
There's a restaurant and stuff there, and you can buy souvenirs and all that. But you buy fish, and you feed the tarpons, and the tarpons are huge.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and so it's such an interesting, unique thing. I recommend people stopping at Robbie's if you've never done it before. Lysandra and I and Abigail did it last year, and so it wasn't on the top of my priority list. Yeah. But it's a fun thing. We just didn't really take the time to do it this time. Right. But yeah, and so. Think about family meeting tonight is, hey, sit down with your family and just talk about, hey, what do you guys want to do for our next family vacation, whatever it is. And there's something fun about and exciting about even just planning it. Absolutely. Even if you don't know when yet. Just having a conversation about what do we want to do next? Where do we want to go? What do we want to see? Do we want to go out to a beach or the mountains? Or do we want to go to an amusement park? What is the thing that we really want to do? And then you can start the steps of trying to figure out, okay, when can we go? Because here's the thing. No matter where you're at in life, we encourage you at least once a year. Take a trip, get away with your family, and make some memories. Spend some time together, invest that time. Because here's the thing. The time goes so fast.
It does.
Like, so fast. And then your kids are out on their own. They've got their own lives. They've got their own families. And you never get that chance back. And you know what? Here's the thing: when they leave the house, you're never going to look back and think, "Oh man, we spent too much time together."
No,
like we took one too many trips together. We made too many memories. No, but here's what you will say: you'll regret if you didn't.
That's right.
Work's always going to be there. Those things are always going to be there. Yep. And you say, well, we don't really make a lot of money. Things are so tight right now. There are so many ways to make it affordable. I mean, we did camping trips because that was the only way. And we camped in areas where it was free. And there's no amenities or nothing else, but that was the way we could get to the Pacific Northwest and see what we wanted to see. Or we'd stay with friends. And is it my first, is it what I want most to stay with another family and have that inconvenience, and it can be hard to relax and everything else? That wouldn't be my first choice. But if it's that or nothing, that's what I'm choosing. And so no matter where you're at, please make it a priority to invest in that time with your family. They'll get excited about it. They'll never forget that time that you spend together. And so family meeting tonight is, let's start the planning process. Even if it's just, hey, what do you guys think you want to do for our next trip? But start to work to get that on the calendar for 2026.
All right. And thank you for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite your friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. If you'd like to shoot us a text or call us, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting. We are going to discuss a little bit of a heavier topic. We're going to talk about being married to a chronically ill person. This is a very difficult thing to go through for people. We've spoken to so many people who have dealt with this or are in the midst of it, and we just want to give those people some encouragement. We want to talk about just what that kind of life is like and how you can help maybe somebody else who is going through it.
Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. All right, Florida Keys vacation. Those of you that have been there, what are the things that you love most? What did we leave off the list? What have maybe we haven't seen and visited that you say, listen, next time you go, and there will be a next time, you have to do this, or you've got to go here and eat this place, or you're talking about little coffee shops out of the way. Hey, check out this coffee shop because there's something special and unique about it. We're always open to suggestions, new ideas, things that we need to do. And yes, we will at some point. I'll go with them. We'll go take a boat. We'll go out on the reef and we'll do some snorkeling. Okay.
Is that a promise?
That's a promise.
Mark it down,
I'll
y'all.
do that. So,
it's on recording. So.
Yeah. Especially now that I feel bad that you guys didn't go do that because I didn't want to go.
But you have every right to want or not want to do something.
I know, but I can be willing to go so that you guys can experience that. But we'd love to continue this conversation there right in the comments. Till then, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.